Welcome back to Krown's Crypto Cave and a very special day today as we have my good friend Jason Pizzino on with myself today. And he is, if you're not familiar with him, a very prolific YouTuber who focuses mostly on altcoins. His links will be in the description below. Obviously, I'll let him tell his own story, but I do want to just be on record as saying that Jason, what I really like about this guy, what I really like about you, sir, is that you are very pulled back and very rational with the way that you approach what I typically see as kind of an irrational and bizarre, if you will, altcoin space. You know, a lot of people always basically just kind of abuse the rocket emojis, right? And Jason is a lot more, in my opinion, a mature opinion of what is actually going on and what is legitimate. And that's why I wanted to bring him on, because we look at these charts all the time and a lot of these charts look pretty damn good, but I have no idea what the hell they do. So, you know, Jason, I'm going to hand it over to you. Please tell the audience your story if they're not familiar with you. Go ahead.
Yeah, sweet, man. Well, thanks again for having me on the show, and I love chatting with you. We've done a live stream on my channel. Always a good chance to chat about absolutely everything, but it's really good fun, honestly. My story is investing. 15 years. Started with a bit of property, got into some trading, learned about trading. I look at mostly GAN analysis, and so that's how I started, and just went really deep into that. Had some success with commodities trading, and then just found I didn't really like being in it so much, just day-to-day stuff, and sort of pulled back from that, got back into property development, and then crypto came along. So I started trading in that and realized this market's completely different to what I'm used to. Commodities trading is 0.5% here and there. You're leveraged to your eyeballs, and you got to have stops. You got to be really look at your risk management. And I know you go through that a lot with your audience as well, from your background. Whereas the crypto space isn't really used to that. It's just kind of like gamble on something, get Doge. Yeah, Elon Musk says it's going to be the next greatest thing. It's going to be sweet. So when you start to layer your commodities experience or trading with leverage, having to have stops, otherwise you're blown up and you can't keep trading. You layer that with crypto, you kind of find that it's a pretty good balance there. You can make the gains, you can be a little bit safe, and then continue on for the next few years. So, I had a little bit of success in that 2017, made a lot of mistakes, as we all did. You probably heard that story many times before, and then thought, I'm going to fix this up and look at what I could do better, but save myself a whole lot of heartache and time as well, because I don't want to be in front of the computer screens all day. I want to be out doing other things. Developed a plan around that, and then 2019, 2020 come, let's go at it. Plans implemented, let's ride this wave. So that's kind of where I've come from. I got plenty of time free, so I'm like, let's do a YouTube channel on finance for the last couple of years and just develop into that. So it's been a lot of good fun meeting cool people around the world.
Awesome, man. Actually, just out of curiosity, so during like 2018, 2019, 2020 or so, what were you doing within the market? Were you still kind of watching? Were you still participating? Or did you kind of take the time off while things were more or less cooling down?
I was watching it every day. So every day, 2017, 18, 19, 20. Yeah. I wasn't trading altcoins because I did that through 2017, getting into the ICOs, getting burnt on some, making big gains on the others, sort of balances out, and you come in front. But I'm like, it just I didn't really like it that much. So I was watching it daily, but I was like, I want to go and live this life that I really want. So I started developing my lifestyle to sort of suit my income as well, and what I want to do with my business. So yeah, that's what I was doing through that period. I didn't have to trade daily. I just lived frugally. I knew I just had to throw as much as I could into the market at those prices, and then hopefully everything works out based on what I could see.
Love it. Yeah, man. So it's actually very good to hear that you were in around 2017 as well, because that kind of helps me relate, especially to the audience right now. For anyone who wasn't around during 2017, 2018, it was fucking shitcoin mania during that time. It was insane. And we saw anything in their mother just going to the moon and beyond that had no business ever being traded, realistically within the next few years. And most of the things did end up pretty much, I don't think they died because nothing truly dies, but they're essentially irrelevant now. They kind of enter into the dead heartbeat. So that perfectly segues into what I want to talk about with you today is, what are these damn projects that we've been looking at, and what are they? Why are they legit? And what can you kind of talk about with them? We can start off with, I think the most hot one right now is probably Cardano, or like I like to say Cardano, the old Cardano there. because that one's absolutely incredible as far as charts go. And, I remember watching that one in 2017, 2018. It did the same, like 90% down as everything else, but that one actually survived, whereas most things did not. And that speaks really volumes, at least in my experience, whenever you see something like that. That's a really, really good sign for that particular asset.
I totally agree. And my view on the market overall, like what I try to do is just increase my Bitcoin holding and increase my Ethereum holding, because ETH has also, from what I look at in the charts, is also
Right.
going on that run to
So you kind of have like a
potentially
long-term bullish
overtake
bias,
Bitcoin.
essentially.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
because exactly. Like I don't want to be sitting here holding my fiat currency. I can't really think of anything else I want to be in. Stocks, I mean, the Aussie stock market is just garbage. And although, it looks good, but when you factor in inflation and how they just, nothing really rises that hard. We don't really have a tech sector here like the US.
Right.
Yeah, Aussie stocks, primarily speaking, garbage. And I tend to speak like that a lot with my audience as well. And the guys who just sort of come on board, they get a little bit triggered, especially with altcoins, because my bias is upwards for Bitcoin and ETH. Cardano looks like maybe they're going to step into that ring as well.
Interesting.
And so when I just, exactly, because it's also going up. It's getting higher lows. You can see that on the chart.
Right,
and I keep it really basic. And so when we get that sort of look in the market, everything else is trending towards zero.
Right.
It's good for the bull market, and people get their hearts attached to it, and they get married to it, and then it dies off. But speaking of Cardano, we can both talk, underwater. If we just go back to Cardano, it does look like one of those projects that should survive. And
right.
To the detriment of a lot of other people, they think you got to go with the fundamentals first, and it is important to look at the fundamentals of the project. But I want to take a quick glance at things and go, is this going to be strong or is it going to be weak? Right. I think you might do the same thing where it's like, all right, is this going to be worth spending my time here to learn more about this project? Because there's thousands of projects. There's so many. So
basically the charts get you interested, then you start looking at the fundamentals, because it sounds like you're a much more long-term investor looking for those very long-term opportunities.
Yeah, that's one side of the portfolio. Gotcha. Long-term, I got to put it into, I got to put the gains into something. And then the short-term stuff is all these altcoins are going to boom and bust. That's actually what we've seen before.
That's actually an incredibly good point. I don't mean to cut you off right there, but
no, go for it.
I feel like, and I've definitely had this myself too, and this is why I've kind of, I essentially guess did something relatively similar to you, is that because we can kind of get carried away with this market, with just everything that, looks like, oh shit, you can get rich off this ridiculous right here. There's so much opportunity in Bitcoin with these, 10% moves that can happen in just a day, and it's a normal day basically. But what helps me sort of dial back my own FOMO fears is by having that long-term sort of hodl, which I think I don't really talk about enough. So for myself, I basically just take all my Bitcoin profits that I make from trading and put it into to a wallet that I've been holding. I mean, basically ever since like 2018, I really haven't needed a need for liquid cash. So it sounds like you're kind of doing something similar, which keeps you in the game long-term, makes you feel like you're participating, and then you can also kind of participate in the more fun parts of it too in the short term as well, which I think is excellent.
Yeah, exactly. And I can't think of anything else I want to put my money into at the moment. Bitcoin seems like the best idea. And as much as you want to, like, we're here to help people. That's what we want to do, because at the same time, when you're teaching, it helps you as well. So it's like it's a win-win for everyone.
Selfish altruism.
There you go. So it works. That seems like the cycle of life. If you can help, everything works out and everything continues to grow on. So we look at that, when I look at that with altcoins, right? And so some people understand it and they're like, sweet, thank you so much for opening my eyes up. You can love the project, get on board, enjoy the ride, put your money in there, the emotions come out and the thing goes up. But then you have the other group of people who just want to buy in at the top and just hold it forever because they believe this thing is going to keep going up. And you go, look, the information's out there. If you don't want to take it, that's sweet. You'll lose your money. That's fine. Someone else has got to be on the other side of that trade, Yeah. So we don't always get the top, but we just want to take that big chunk out of the middle. You enjoy the top and then ride it out.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the way that I look at things, if I'm actually trend trading, which I don't do too much of, but if I get even 70% of the move, that's a damn good trade.
70% is crazy good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah,
I just think this weird idea where it's like you need to buy the low and sell the ultimate top, or maybe just not even sell at all, but just keep on buying perhaps. But yeah, man, it's a strange thing.
I looked at that too. I know we're supposed to be talking about some altcoins, but I was looking at like Bitcoin or ETH, you know, two major ones. If people don't know what they're doing, I see people out in the surf here and they're like, oh, you know, what's your channel or something like that? And they ask me tips and whatnot. And I go, if you got no time, you'd rather surf, or you just don't really care that much, just look at Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Yeah.
And what I was looking at with the chart was just, if you just didn't buy the tops and you just got in when everything was super fearful, because we have a long-term bias view, then that's, you know, you're coming out in front, like way in front. Instead of buying it at 60, it's fearful at 30, just buy it at 30. And so now you're way in front.
How like
Super
long-term
simple.
of a view are you looking here with like your long-term investments? Like how many years off?
I don't have an exact idea, but now I would say indefinitely, because I can't see it. I can't see anything else.
Right.
Land would be one that I would look at, but
you said land?
you know, it depends. Land, yeah.
Yes.
It just
so
depends
like
whether I want to get real. Yeah.
Okay,
And I often refer to it as land, because that's why I look at the economic cycle.
Right on. Okay.
Because the value in that property or in real estate is actually in the land. It's not in the physical thing on top of the property, on top of the land. That's depreciating, you know? It's just the land. Because the land is what gets zoned. You know, now we're probably getting into another aspect, which is, you know, to do with land, but everything that we trade, commodities, Forex, crypto, whatever, all of that profits basically go back into the value of the land. And this is over like a longer term cycle. It's something I talk about on the channel.
Really interesting. Holy shit. We'll have to get into that maybe on another video, but because that actually sounds like a whole rabbit hole that I'd like to get into. But as far as like you know, Cardano goes, what fundamentally do you like about it?
Well, look, I look at it in terms of smart contracts. It's cheaper. It will be when they get smart contracts, and then when they get in the mainnet and stuff launched. And when I look at the projects, it has to be community and marketing, and this has like a natural marketing around it. The community loves it so much that it naturally wants to evolve without having to pump money into this. Whereas a lot of the smaller altcoins, they have to keep going out, raising funds, get marketing done, pay.
I've seen some really
YouTubers.
Crazy like marketing employees with some of these shit coins. Again, sorry to cut you off right there, but
go on. Yeah.
I see like shitcoin projects hiring individual people to like basically be a part of their Discord discussions to make it look like it's more lively there, for example.
That's
strange.
That's kind of what will happen in this period of the market, I think. It's like, you got this huge budget. How can you use it the best way possible? How can you use it most efficiently? Yeah. So if the Discord's looking good, if they got the marketing looking good on the websites and the right people that are shilling it, it's enough to pump it up for the bull market, but it's not enough to keep it going through the bear. That's often the way I look at it. And Cardano seemed to get through that lull. So even though I don't get heavily into the fundamentals of Cardano or, you know, what's supposed to happen next, I can see those major things have fallen into place already. And I'm not a Charles Hoskins. Like I don't need to talk about him and look up to him like Jesus or something like that. You know, it's just,
so you're not like drinking the Kool-Aid.
No. I've actually been off Cardano for a long time because nothing has ever been developed on it. And I'm just like, I'm waiting to. Oh yeah. And people saw that on my channel, like, oh, what have you switched now to Cardano? I'm like, this is just a game to make more money, really. If you really love it, you want to marry it, go for it. But look, all I can see is I can see on the chart, the lows are getting higher. That's all I kind of need to know. And it's increasing in value against Bitcoin, right? So I just see if Bitcoin has this huge belief in it, we understand what Bitcoin's about.
Right.
It's here to stay 12 years, you know, I'm pretty sure it's here to stay.
Yeah.
And if this crypto, after a bear market, is increasing in value against Bitcoin, that means more people believe that this project is worth their money than Bitcoin. Do you know, in some sort of understanding there? Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly.
They're worth risking their Bitcoin. Yeah.
I mean, that's basically the way that I judge the fundamentals, which is going to sound completely asinine to anyone who has like a thought process outside of this. But basically, the way that I look at things is that, look, a good fundamental project should usually have good tentacles. I mean, you need to see that people actually supporting this project who that actually fucking believe in it, preferably, big investors who, actually have insider information, that they're actually using those sort of lulls to accumulate. And that's what kind of creates your macro higher lows. That's what creates your macro uptrend. And that's what creates what I would imagine a good fundamental project. Because why else the fuck would you be investing in something, potentially big time and supporting it? Because like those people actually are the ones who are literally creating those lows. I mean, you need that sort of money in order to do it. But just out of curiosity,
sorry, I was just gonna say I kind of get lazy in everything that I do, because I can look at the chart and go, people are going to be researching this way more than I even give a shit about, like this Cardano or whatever. And if the lows are getting higher, they obviously know something that I don't know, and I'm never going to know it until it's too late. So I can see that low, it's getting higher. Much as I don't really give a crap about Charles Hoskinson or the army of Cardano, like in terms of like how zealot it is around that whole space, not necessarily people themselves, but the ideas, how it gets really like
becomes
retarded.
Yeah,
exactly. I can still see there is some real value here that people are seeing. So
gotcha.
Let's get on board with the trend.
So if it ain't Cardano, what's kind of like the hot project to you right now? Like what's
Cardano?
That is it.
Cardano.
Oh, you just love the Carderpo. What's what is like your baby right now then? What's the one that you're probably most excited about?
Solana would be the other one that I'm most excited about.
Variant, another one with a phenomenal chart.
Yes, that one's been really, really good. And another one which is a smaller market cap than Solana now, which is what, 25 billion or something. FTT, so FTX exchange. Sorry,
FTX's token. Yeah. I mean, man, it's like every time I look at Twitter, SBF has like bought a new fucking team or something.
I know.
He's going for like full on world domination. That guy is insane.
So I don't want to bet against his world domination. I don't know how political we can get here, but we can use stereotypes and stuff like that.
You can get political, man.
The big money. It's the Jews in America. I don't know anything about this. I'm from Australia. We just hear it in movies,
Oh, right.
I love Seinfeld. I love Curb Your Enthusiasm. Man, I wish that show came back on.
You don't have to.
That's one of my favorite shows.
No, it's it's always one of those things, man. I wish I got my fucking invite to the Jews ruin the world party, but looks like it got lost.
All we did was get the nose. We just got the noses. Yeah.
There you go. The Italian genetics speaking out right now.
I know.
But
I'm not going to bet against that. And I like FTX Exchange. They've got Blockfolio that they've just bought, which is now called FTX App. I mean, they bought that a long time ago.
Right.
And going through the space now, Binance is, they just went out and said, we're just going to open up everywhere. Forget about the regulations. I'm not one for regulations. I'd rather everything be non-KYC. Like, I think that's the way the space should be. But SBF's gone regulation, and now it's like Binance has peaked out. It can still go up. That's cool. I'm not saying it's going to crash to zero, but it looks like FTX has positioned themselves to take advantage of this time in the market when, the narrative now is moving across to regulation. So they're like, we're set. We know what we're doing. We've got a fantastic trading platform. We got retail on-ramps. We have trader on-ramps, investor on-ramps, everything. Let's go.
Yeah.
And it's still at 5 billion.
Yeah. I mean, it is super interesting to me as well. I mean, like they seem to be hitting every one of the marketing aspects, going back to kind of what you spoke about earlier. Their marketing is top fucking notch. And to be fair, like Binance and CZ, they used to be the kings of that as well. I mean, CZ would always just like, look, I'm not a big fan of Binance, never was, but there's no denying CZ is a master marketer. He tells his story incredibly well. He speaks kind of to what people want to hear. He knows exactly what to say.
He speaks well too.
Yeah,
he does. I don't know how Justin's son did it. I can't, like, he doesn't speak well at all. For a billionaire.
No,
nothing against the person. We know that. It's more the ideas and stuff. And I'm not his second language, all that. But CZ speaks really well.
Yeah, he speaks really well, and he says the right things. More importantly, too, like he knows what people kind of want to hear. He knows the right things to kind of make people believe in what he's doing and everything. And to be fair, I mean, Binance is probably gonna be fine. I mean, it seems like they're gonna probably go like the way of BitMEX next, maybe where they get a slap on the wrist, you know, a few fines here and there, and then what? He steps down and he's still a billionaire, so all good. nothing really,
Yeah.
nothing really hurt right there, man. I mean, I imagine it's a lot of stress to deal with right now, but I suspect that he's going to step down in maybe like less than a month, if I had to guess. You know.
Yeah, they were looking for a new CEO and stuff like that. I was speaking to another trading company. I'm not going to mention any names, but the guys, they were thinking whatever was like, no, he's going to jail. This thing will be over,
really,
and he's going to jail. I'm like,
oh wow,
okay. Yeah, this wasn't online or anything, but yeah, I was like, okay. But he's in competition with that sort of thing as well, and he thinks that those sort of exchanges are garbage because they're just preying on people to gamble on them. Like, you're not doing much better. Like, you can't come out here and think that you're the savior and you still have a trading platform, but this one's not. But anyway, that's another story.
No,
which we won't get into.
I've definitely had those thoughts myself too. But at the end of the day, man, like, you know, people have to be able to make the decision for themselves, because who's to say? I mean, obviously, I think that fucking SHIB token has no business being traded and it's garbage. But who am I to say that? Maybe something, you know, unique happens. Maybe other people just have a different opinion, and that's completely, you know, they can do that. Just like I can have my own opinions as well. You know, shit like that, I think, is the way that the market should work. Obviously, that's what a free market would be. And technically speaking, that's what we're supposed to believe in the Western world. Although maybe there's some issues with that as well. Maybe we just don't implement it perfectly. But yeah, man, just out of curiosity, are there any like very small projects, or some things that are kind of off the grid? You know, not like your Solanas, not like your FTTs, not like your Cardanos. You know, something that's just kind of way out there.
What?
Cardurpo.
There is one, and it's a friend of mine who is super into NFTs, and that's all he does. He just loves the NFTs. He's playing them, farming them, doing all sorts of stuff with it. The stuff that you do, and he's just like crazy about it. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to get this thing. The chart looks all right.
NFTs now.
A little bit. I got to get into it a bit more, I think. You know, if we want to be making... no, not like these JPEGs. No, I just bought the token.
Oh, that would seem a lot more wise to me as well. It's just, you know, buy the fucking marketplace, not the goddamn JPEG.
Yeah. I mean, I've had a few of those marketplaces, like TVK was one of them. And that's actually bounced back really hard. Okay. The one I'm talking about is Aave Gotchi. Have you heard of Aave Gotchi?
No, I haven't.
You know, you've heard of Aave.
Yes.
You have to.
Yes,
you live
Aave
there.
I have, but Aave Gotchi, is that like a derivative of that or something?
Yeah, it's a crypto. You remember Tamagotchis from the 90s or the early 2000s? Tamagotchi?
No, dude. No, no not actually.
All right. Hopefully some people that are watching have heard of Tamagotchis. Okay. So that I guess it's supposed to replicate that. I haven't played the game. I've just seen it, and it's replicated on Aave. So it's a play for pay, or, you know, play to earn type game.
Gotcha.
And so you Tamagotchi, it was like this little plastic thing. It was like oval, and it was just a digital little screen, and you would have to feed the animal, and it would go to the toilet, and you'd have to clean up its shit, and, you know, you'd let it go to sleep at night, and if it wasn't happy, it'd start to die. So you had to keep the thing alive on a little... You never saw these as a kid?
No, but it blows my mind that our lives are so comfortable that we will go into a digital world just to take care of a fucking digital animal. Like, what the hell? What's going on ridiculous here, man? We need more.
So that's what this is.
We need more difficulties in our lives. But anyways, yeah, go ahead.
Well, we're creating them now, aren't we? But that's a political... We have to have Krown's political cave, but we'll go there a different day.
Oh, dear Lord. You have to show them the Elon
Musk. Surefire way to get... you can post that here. You'll get dropped from YouTube if you posted that one. People don't know what we're talking about. It's just a recent one from the 21st of August. Go check Elon Musk's page.
Please do yourself a favor and check that out, because it is it's great. You gotta love Elon.
You can't post it on YouTube. You will get absolutely destroyed by YouTube. But anyway, Elon Musk posted it, not us. So looking at Aave Gotchi.
Okay.
So I explain what it is in the plastic thing. Again, it's essentially you're doing this online.
Okay.
And then you farm it out. So this is from my mate who's just so keen on the project. The ticker is GHST, so it's Ghost.
Oh, that's what that is. Holy shit, man. There's a guy who comes to my stream every goddamn day asking for this thing. It has a phenomenal chart, if I recall properly. It does, yeah. Pretty damn good right there. Okay, so that's
So
what that is.
that's what it is. Yeah, it's just
Gotcha.
Tamagotchi thing. And so you're playing the game.
Mhm.
You get, all these things. It's like you get another token, and then you have to go and stake it to earn friends. So not
Okay.
like friends, but
Okay.
FRENS. So then you stake it and get this thing, and then you
Okay.
go and buy something else, and then you get your 30% or 50%. I'm botching that completely, but we get the idea.
Something
It's like
like
you have
that.
the
Gotcha.
token,
Yeah.
you got to go do something else with it. You yield it, you farm it, bang.
Okay,
You
that makes
just
a ton of sense.
Yeah,
That like I don't know if you're a gamer or not, but understanding
I am
like
not.
game. Okay, you're not.
Yeah.
I am. So I
Okay.
understand that like NFTs. You can tell by the computer behind me. NFTs totally makes sense to me, but I don't know if it's like in their current form right now. Because like at some point, it seems to me like it would make total sense if you could like redeem it for also stuff in the real world or like in a virtual reality or something. That would be pretty awesome. But it's very
So I think
intimate
that's what
now.
they're trying to do.
Oh, then that's fucking perfect, man. Because I'm going straight into my quest and entering into the metaverse as soon as possible. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing.
So you're going to get paid in their tokens to
Mhm.
do stuff in the game, right?
Okay.
But the chart looks reasonably good. The lows are getting higher. It's
Yes.
breaking
I'm
all
looking at
time
it right now.
highs.
It's actually phenomenal. Um,
Yeah.
it's very, very
So
cool.
I just thought, why not? Let's throw some cash at this because it's in that
Mhm.
trend. He's keen on it. He's done pretty well. Like there's quite a few. He was one that's going nuts about Sol. He was going nuts
Yeah.
about FTT. He was going nuts about Axie Infinity before it took
Gotcha.
off. He
Okay.
was like, I think it must have been $4 or $7, and he's like, this thing's gonna be good.
Right.
Um, Luna, he was just like
Mhm.
loving Luna. He's like, this thing's gonna be fantastic. I'm like, okay, look, you should be
Interesting.
having a bigger YouTube channel, but he likes to keep it. He likes to keep it very tutorial
Yeah.
based.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
So
So
I'm
kind of like
doing
the
his shilling for him.
nice one. So kind of like the idea is that it's gonna be something similar to Axia, I suppose.
That's my understanding. And
Mhm.
speaking with a friend, he's just like, this Axie Infinity looks like garbage. Like the game itself. Have you seen
Yeah.
it or played it or
No,
anything?
I haven't, but I can't imagine it's probably not a AAA studio or something.
No, but he thought Ave Gotcha looked a lot better. I'm like, look, that's a personal opinion. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
But if it is, let's hope it goes from 150 million to 10 billion or whatever. What did Axie Infinity get to? 4 billion or 5 billion?
I don't know,
Who
man, but
knows?
that thing is just insane. I mean, it's one of the best charts in cryptocurrency land right now. That's for
Is
sure.
it still rocketing?
Oh, let's actually
It's
see.
at 76. Oh yeah, wow. Just new all
Oh,
time high in
dear
the last few
Lord.
days. Yeah,
Pullbacks are banned in this one. Jesus.
yeah. We should probably share screen so people can see what's going on.
You wanna
How
do you
about
want to
we?
share yours? Do you want
Yeah, all right. Let's have a look at the screens.
we can also go over a
That's the
little bit
one.
of your thoughts on the market too, if you want.
Let's do that. Yeah, before we take it too far. So this is Axie. That was sort of like that's the entry that I look at for my style of
Mhm.
trading. If it gets above those highs, that's a safe entry to me at
Okay,
around
so
that
you're
five
looking for
bucks
like that
twenty.
little short form accumulation right there.
Yeah, there's your little
Got it.
accumulation. There's the fake out, and then if I really wanted to get super tight, I like to look at it on bar charts. I keep it really basic.
Oh
That's like
man.
yeah. This is how I learned with GAN. There was through a company here, but have you heard of WD GAN?
Of course, yeah. I actually know a few
Of
traders
course.
who are very successful with it.
Yeah. So GAN style. Let's just do this quickly. So this is like here's your swings.
Okay.
That's up, up, up. This is your next swing. This is your next swing, swing, and this is just basically swing trading. See that this doesn't even go
Mhm.
down now.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll end it there. But essentially, you can see you got lower swing, higher
Mhm.
swing, and then there's a lower swing low. So I got the trend now is down. Lower swing
Yeah.
tops, lower swing bottoms. This is called a first higher swing bottom, and that is like a
Mhm.
super signal here. And then it
Gotcha.
breaks out. That's just broken out of it, and then breaks out here. So you got a clean, close entry, and then you can keep your stop beneath the swing low.
Oh,
So
beautiful.
you just sort of like, what on crypto, that's not too bad, risking about 20%.
Yeah. Just put it on
Yeah,
log scale to look fun.
yeah, boom. Um, but yeah, like you don't get a signal here. This is pretty cool. Where's my little brush here? All right, you don't get a signal. So you got a high swing low here forming,
Yes.
but there's no break at the top, so you never
Mhm.
enter, and then it's back down. So you could enter on the breakdown, and then you would just get stopped out on the break here, and then you would reverse. So his his trading plan was just like you're flipping from one side to the other,
Gotcha.
but you don't want to get churned up. So that's why he had the swing system here. But anyway, that was just like a quick little demo, and you can see that there. It's just like up and up and up.
It's
little swing here, back
powerful.
down.
Very powerful.
Axie, we were looking at. Let's look at a little derp. Cardurpo.
The old derpo.
The old derpo.
Oh baby.
All-time high. I'll put it on candles because everyone complains. I'm like, that's the way I trade. You know, this is the default.
That's the way that I learned too with high-low close bars.
With the bars?
Yep. Yeah. I learned from an old timer, man. He was like 50 or 60 by the time he was teaching me. So that's all that he had. Yeah,
and you just like throw it on greens and reds. But then Gan, now we're getting into like, you know, our nerdy trading thing. Gan had inside bars. So these would be black because they're inside. Mm-hmm. And then outsides, which were higher highs and lower lows in the previous bar, would be black as well. So your real green are just high and high and high low. But people are here to look at some charts. Let's do that. I'll put it back to candles. Yeah, here we go. All-time high. Trying to break out of that again. ADA. What was it? We liked Solana and FTT. So I'll look at FTT. There we go. Had the break here. This is what we were talking about. That you can see like a nice little swing forming. The lows get higher. We get a break. We get a bit of volume come in. And we're trying again. Not bad. Obviously, the all-time high is what I want. But these are the main ones that I like is BTC charts.
Really?
You like these as well?
No, I don't like charting against Bitcoin.
Although, in terms of the strength of the project, I want to see these in a nice uptrend.
Well, to be fair, I should rephrase that. When Bitcoin's in essentially a bull market, it is wise to look at altcoin versus Bitcoin, especially if you're thinking about holding either one of them long term. You want to know which one's going to be performing better, of course.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, this is what I try and talk about often in the channel, is because people kind of get in this mindset that this is going to be the next big thing and I have to hold it forever. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, this one so far is working out. There's a higher low, it came out and a higher low. Yeah. That just, it's an uptrend. Even though these ranges are massive, it's still an uptrend.
Right.
So my Bitcoin's safe there. If I didn't want to do anything apart from buy the dips on my 50% zones, then that's all I had to do. It's just like a simple beginner long-term plan.
I like it, man. You keep it very simple. Then this is good. I mean, the majority of people who I know who actually trade for a living, who are actually successful, have relatively simple strategies. Like
that's exactly, and that's what I put together for my guys as well. Teaching them. I'm like, if I'm gonna like teach or do it myself, it's just how simple can I get it and still be effective?
Right. Well, it's also like lifestyle as well. I mean, do you want to be in front of the fucking charts all day, or or do you just want to follow the trend right there and kind of live your life, exactly. I suppose, as well. It's lifestyle.
Exactly. Yeah. More in the lifestyle, not day-to-day stuff. So yeah, 50% bounce. If it starts to break down from here, then you go, well, maybe FTT, something's going on that I don't know. They just didn't make it, and SBF's selling out. Like who the hell knows, So that, and I guess this just comes with experience. Like you realize that is a strong point. Right, and if it's broken, there's something must be wrong. This is like a halfway point, etc. Ghost.
Jesus Christ.
Ghost is up.
Yeah, that one might very well pull an Axie.
I'd love to see that. But this kind of scares me as well. I'm like, this went straight up and back down, but it's so illiquid that it just could be some noob just like going nuts.
One of the things that I've learned with altcoins is you just kind of got to give them a pass. They look sloppy, and that's just the way that it is.
True. It does look very sloppy. Like you wouldn't want to trade that candle anywhere else.
No, fuck no. Jesus Christ.
You'd wait and see what happens like this.
Many a good men were lost on that candle.
Ghost against Ethereum. If I'm going to risk my ETH on this, I want to see this breaking 50%. You can see it's like tapped out a few times. So, I'm waiting on this thing to break past to make sure my ETH is safe. We were looking at, here's a old school one. I always bring this up.
Oh my God, an
ICX.
icon. Oh,
Yeah.
oh God, Jesus Christ, that thing.
This is what 2017 was. You remember this, hey?
Yep.
And
Fuck
then
yeah, I remember
everyone's
that
like,
one.
I'm like, this is going to happen again to the majority of projects in
Yep.
2021.
Oh yeah.
Bang, gone. You know, we're getting higher lows.
Yeah, but that one just does not
Could we?
participate in the upside at all. I mean, that thing is just beat to shit.
Nothing.
It had,
Eating it, just lapping it up. Actually, this was on your stream the other day. I remember like commenting as well. Something that
talking about
might take.
ICP,
I was looking
yeah.
at ICP the other day.
Yeah, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, let's have it on the daily. I like that. You know, high lows.
Yeah, I mean,
Highs
it
are
is
getting
a bit of
higher. This is
accumulation
kind of a
right there,
bit.
ain't it?
Yeah, I'm not expecting it to burst up, but at any quick moment, maybe we come back and test, and we take a little longer because this did get crushed, and then I've just got my exit. You know, I think I put this on a video once. Yeah, you know, I'm looking about there. Just take it and run. I can see some lows came in there.
Yeah.
You know, whatever that is, 50% or so.
I always like those prior breakdown points.
Yeah. Prior breakdown, that's about 100% to get it to 280. It's on Bitcoin as well. I'm ICP against Bitcoin. So if I can double my Bitcoin on that, okay.
You got HEX
I'm not
on your
married to
charts too,
ICP.
on your watch list there.
HEX?
Yeah.
Look at this, 18 cents. This is stupid,
Dude,
man.
it's one of the best charts in cryptocurrency land, and like, what do you say about it? I don't know.
Well, yeah, this is a good one too. You know, it's up. You're going to make money from it. It's Richard Hart that's running the show,
right?
So you just have to have belief in Richard Hart, and a lot of his minions do have belief in him.
Oh, they definitely do, man. If you say anything that goes against their narrative, they will come for you, man. It's like the fucking vegan crew. They're coming for you.
Glad it's on your channel and not mine. Put HEX on your thumbnail. Just watch him flop.
Oh my God.
So, I mean, it's up.
What's your thoughts on Bitcoin and Ethereum, the two big boys?
Bitcoin and ETH. Where are we at? 50% is my zone. We're just playing with it. Look how much we've been playing with this thing for like a week and a half. We had getting closer. Rejection. We tried once, rejected. Now we're trying again. So at the moment, I don't have like a strong view on this. I think maybe we'll try a little bit higher and test that 50K level. Just before we broke down, there was that around 51,000. Yeah, that's kind of my next look and see how it reacts from that, because that's the 61% as well. And we look at that as like a potential bull trap area. You know, if we get a bounce back of 61. So
rejection there would not look good at all, especially if it came back down below 45. Just out of curiosity, so what would make you essentially reverse your opinion on Bitcoin? Like, what would make you essentially bullish on this market right now? Like saying the lows are in, saying it's going back up, and if you're a long-term investor, it's time to be back in.
My weekly swing break. Okay. That's like the first sign of bullish. Holding above 50%, which is at 46.7. So call it 47 just for a round number. Holding above there and accumulating, and that's my next, like, we're good. We're getting really strong.
You're already kind of on that side then, I suppose.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy to, like the way it is when we trade and invest, it's like, look, it's more yes than no at this point. Right, and if it's no, we'll start to see it. It'll break down through these lows, it'll break down through here, and we'll begin to realize that it was just a bull trap.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm looking at there. We got this nice little round pattern. I was looking at these lows and I'm like, look, I think this thing could easily have gone down further. It just happened to pull up here. And then we got this huge going on.
Yeah.
Bit of a bear trap. Yeah. I was just using a simple fear and greed plan for the guys on my channel. And like, look, the fear is really low. It hit below a certain number. Let's just buy it. Yeah. Buy here. There was, I put it all over the channel.
Essentially accumulating below like 34, 35.
Yeah. The average price ended up being $34,080.
Fucking right there, smack dab in the middle of that consolidation. Perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Damn perfect.
And that was on the channel live, like, doing it day by day. It was just simple ass plan. I'm like, if anyone can do this, then that's going to be a good thing for
The
them.
problem with that
Um,
is though, is that during those times, man, because price action isn't doing like the fucking $10,000 move a day, people, don't really give a fuck anymore. So it's like the people who
I know.
probably should be watching that and actually learning during those times are probably not. But like that is what real trading looks like for anyone wondering. I mean, or especially if you're like more long term, like Jason is here. It's like that's what it should be. It should be rather boring, and then you
Hmm.
know where your risk is, where your probabilities are, where you have a bit of an edge, where you have things in your favor, and then, well, you can see the results. I mean, that's a 60% move off the lows so far. It ain't bad.
Yeah, and then from that 34,000 average price, where are we at? 34, way down here. Let's go about there. Currently 42%.
Not bad. I'll take it.
Yeah, yeah. It's not like awesome, but it's better than buying the tops and then missing the bottom, which
Right, right.
is generally how we know the markets work out.
Hmm.
And through here, I get a little bit of flack because I was saying don't buy alts, or I was like Bitcoin is going to come to and smash the market again, because it's kind of what happens in the cycles. And then we
Right.
saw a lot of alts pop, but and I was also saying, well, I've got a few there to back me up anyway. Sol,
Yeah.
FTT, ADA, ETH. If I don't get the 300 or 700% on Axie, okay,
Well, I
but
totally agree with you there. I mean, one of the big things that I learned, especially in traditional markets, is that, when the markets actually do turn around, the weakest ones are the ones to go first, and they get hit the hardest as well. So when things are a little bit more fearful like that, at least in my opinion, it's probably better to be going with something that is a little bit more established, even if you do really think that it is going to be like a major macro low, because you really don't have to go too big into altcoins, at least in my opinion as well, in order to make those gains. I mean, it doesn't need to be all or fucking nothing. Like that is not a very wise way in my experience to be
yeah,
to be getting into not even just day trading, but of course long-term investing as well.
totally. That was the whole thing. It's just like you
Mhm.
missed all this, and I'm like, it doesn't matter because my altcoin didn't fall like yours did.
Yeah,
If I'm
exactly.
holding some of the other stuff, they're down like 80% against their Bitcoin value, and then they had to bounce back. I'm like, oh, my altcoin got 100% return. I'm like, yeah, but you're down
You're still down
80%. So
20%. Yeah,
yeah, it
exactly.
doesn't matter. No one really gets those numbers. So
And that is just a perfect example right there of Cardano, of course, because it actually fucking held up relatively well compared to most other things, which is what also told me like this thing is actually pretty damn strong, and this is not
mm,
like your average altcoin any longer. There's something else going on here.
there is. If it did break down past $1, then you're like, well, something's wrong. And I was looking at this like, look, it still has the possibility to break past $1 because we're in a trading range.
Right.
But if I start to see it break the highs and then break swings in this zone,
Right.
consolidate above 50%, there are a few signals. Signal there, signal
Yeah.
there, signal there. Yes, I can be wrong. It doesn't mean I was looking at a zone between 40 cents this high and $1, because that was the lows.
Yeah.
I'm like, it could go anywhere in there. I'm not saying one way or the other, but you've got your signals. If it starts to break down past that dollar or 95 cents, probably going to get lower.
Mhm.
But this held up well above 50%. ETH also, our 50% is right here. It hit it and then it broke past. The
Yeah.
stronger ones, which I don't think I got to, was Sol. I'll make it quick because I know we've been going quite a while. This broke down
Jesus
and then
Christ.
it's just
Oh my
skyrocketing.
God.
And I had this on the channel. I'm like, Sol, it looks really good. I like the idea. It actually has
Mhm.
smart contracts. It's got so much building on it.
Yeah.
It just makes sense. And then we had these little swings. All right, buy in the dip, buy these dips because we're starting to go. And then it just went. And it really did hold up okay above the 50%, but even more so against its Bitcoin value.
Oh
Look at that,
wow.
just bang on 50, 50, 50. And
And
then
that
it
one
even
plays
gave me this
really
swing.
technically. Jesus.
Technically, like spot on.
Yeah.
Um, and then it smacked on 50% here, like as a resistance, but then it gave me a higher low, and it's just like sign after sign after sign, and
Mhm.
then it just burst on the 50%. These 50% are friggin' easy, and they have such a strong effect. You can see that there when I take that off. It's just like you can put this in. This is probably the all-time low, and there's the all-time high. Oh, the previous all-time high. Even if I take this off, all I have is this one indicator thing there.
Yeah.
Bounce, bounce, bounce. If it breaks down from that, well, it's probably going to be weak. But then we got a higher low. Away we go.
Perfect.
Uh,
Just
I think that
perfect.
was,
Just
yeah,
perfect.
yeah. I think that was kind of the main ones. We got got through some Ghosts, got through some FTT.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look more into Ghost because that actually does seem like something very much worthwhile, especially considering what Axie's done. And it sounds like Ghost, it just seems to be a better version of that, or at least like a less shittier game than that. Which it kind of blows my
According, you know,
mind though. Like people will be able to kind of make a living from playing a game, I guess, like because they can sell that for real money, I suppose. Like they can use that in real life.
yeah.
So
Until I guess until everything gets, you know, there's too many people coming in, I guess. But that's going
yeah.
to take a while. I think that'll
Yeah.
take quite a long time.
Yeah, I think someone was telling me that like you could earn like $100 a day by playing Axie. It was, which for most people is probably not going to be worth it. But like let's say you're in a third world country or something, like $100 a day could be like completely life changing. So
Oh, huge. That's what they were doing with Ghost, actually.
oh
My
really?
mate that was telling me about it, yeah, he sets up like a Discord group and he
Mhm.
has, must be Filipinos or something,
Okay,
and they will play it to earn money. So he
they'll
kind
just
of feels
grind the
good
shit out
that,
of it. Okay,
yeah, he'll
damn,
feel good about giving someone a job and helping them out like that. And then,
right
they
on.
can earn a pretty good living from it and
I mean
everyone's
that's
happy.
kind of cool. That's actually a really positive thing. That's awesome. Oh,
Yeah, getting
Link,
into the
yeah.
digital.
What's your thoughts on links here?
Well, we've come back to our 50% and we're just starting to break above it.
Um,
It just got crushed. And
this
Link
one was so
BTC,
interesting to me. This one's
look
so
at this
interesting to
thing.
me. It,
Yeah, August top.
mhm.
We came all the way back down here, and I was like, I remember on the channel, I was buying it as we broke through this little zone.
Yeah,
It didn't go very far against BTC, remember? And then
right.
we came back to that highs, and I bought a little bit more. I'm thinking, oh, this thing is just, it's not going anywhere.
Hmm.
And then we tried, and we just got rejected dead on 50%.
Yeah,
Bang bang, and then we've tried again.
it does look like a
Fa-
reaccumulation going on right there, but that thing looks like it can take a long time.
Yeah, if we need to get breaking through these highs pretty soon. I think
But I
the
mean,
highs at
speaking
around
of
64.
right,
Yeah,
but speaking of something that just like perennially has been a really really good chart, like that thing was making higher lows and just trending to the upside ever since 2017 2018 when it debuted, and most things, Bitcoin included, were not. I mean that was 2018, right, where Bitcoin dropped off like 50-60% from 6 to 3, and everything else probably got hit more than that, and Link just held it up. So I remember people were asking about it on stream way back when, and I'm like, this is, I don't know what the hell this thing is, but whatever it is, it's very good. And it's just been weird to see it not participate as much in recent times on the upside. So I wonder what's going on there, but still it does have the macro higher lows. So I suspect that it
for
is
now,
good.
yeah. I think if we started to put in like a lower high here, that might
That
be
would
a
start to
little
look very
concerning. But
bad, extremely
yeah, I
bad.
don't think it'll happen on the USD chart, but
Yeah.
potentially on the Link BTC.
Ah, right,
That's
right.
see, you can see that it was up, and now we just put in a lower high. And
Damn.
I remember watching this on Ben Cohen's channel. Sorry to bring up someone
Okay.
else's channel, but
No, go
looking
go
at
ahead.
credit where credit's due, looking at
Yeah, of
BTC
course.
charts in detail, and that's
Mhm.
what really sort of triggered me on. I'm like, oh yeah, this pretty much came out during the bear market. That
Right.
was his theory, and it went up during the bear market because the value of Link in a dollar sense should have been a lot more. So it's going to increase in
Mm.
Bitcoin value while Bitcoin was going
Right.
down because it was worthy of a higher market cap. But now that Bitcoin has increased since August, essentially, it's
Hmm.
been crushed against BTC value because its dollar value might be exactly where it's supposed to be. You
Right.
know.
Right.
So if we look at the dollar, since August, where are we here? Yeah, it's
Hmm.
pretty much hasn't gone anywhere. It reached a peak of like 17 or $20, and now we're at 28
Yeah.
through that whole period. So I think that's the theory there.
Interesting. Very interesting. I also see that you got KSM on there. And sorry, stop me if we are
Yeah,
going over time right here. But I'm just curious about that one as well, just because that's
KSM
another big one that I see on the channel a lot. And actually had a pretty damn good move right there. I mean, nice, actually.
since here. So this is Tether. Where did it load in around 150? Now it's
Hmm.
344. I want to see the BTC. Yeah, so not much has happened.
Mm.
Everyone gets
It hasn't
really
followed as
excited by this
much.
stuff.
It-
50%.
yeah, not much, 50%. But that's
But
crypto,
remember,
man. It ain't
yeah, I
taking par
know.
for the course right
We're
now.
First world problems. We're like, but look at FTT, 50%. Gosh.
Going back to your talk about like you don't want to be in the stock market, it's like what 1%, you know? It's like that's like a
Yeah,
big
exactly. Well, look, I was giving crap to KSM for 50%, but FTT's only done about 45, 46% from the low. But remember when we just measured from the
better,
from the top, it's 15% down. KSM, what's my alphabet? There it is.
There we go.
KSM. From the top, well, I think I was using the May top, so let's use the May top. Okay, so it's down 50% from the May top.
It did not hold up very well.
Exactly. So look, I guess buying anything at those lows in July would have netted you something.
Right.
But if you were holding them and now celebrating this rise, you know, you're being foolish.
Yeah. I hear you.
That's kind of the way it is. You know, the other big ones that always came up were I had Tell.
Oh yeah, Tell. Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't really still look good to me. We are getting
versus dollar looks pretty damn good, but Bitcoin I suppose not as much.
It got a higher low, and then maybe we'll break this what looks to be like a downtrend. You know, wherever you want to measure it from, I guess. From the close or from the high. You know, eventually we'll get that break. But yeah, the dollar looks better, but still, you know, better off holding Cardano, really. It's to new all-time highs, and this thing's down 66%. And the other one that, you know, a lot of noobs love is VET.
Oh, so V2.
Yeah.
Remember when people were going crazy in 2017 because they had partnerships with the Chinese government, which who knows what that means. It's like we pay taxes to the CCP or something. I don't know.
It's going to be the next China coin, just like Icon was the Korean coin.
What was the other China coin? The Neo? The Neo? Yeah, that one got absolutely wrecked. Talk about dead coins from 2017.
Oh, I'll have a look at Neo in a sec, but VeChain, it's hitting against the 50%. Like this will probably go up. You know, it's going to go up. We've got a little double top.
I do like that higher low right there. It is going to fall, but
it's going to get through that 50%. But you can see how it knocked hard on 50%. That's the major 50%. And burst through that, and then BTC. I mean, that went lower every freaking time.
Yeah.
And it's only finally starting to come back. But yeah, you know, they're going to celebrate that and say, oh, you know, you missed it. Whatever. You know, like my coins are at all-time highs. Yours are down 42%. Like, if you want to play that game. But I don't really care to.
Stronger and the weak get weaker.
We're up. Let's take one last look at Neo. Have a bit of fun.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see where it is right now, actually.
Let's zoom out and have fun.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it looks like a Ripple chart.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Look at
I think a fair bit worse too.
There it is. Look at that. It's almost very similar.
Yeah, that literally is a pump and dump right there.
And people love to hold this thing long term.
Versus dollar, Ripple ain't as bad, but I imagine.
Of course not, because Bitcoin's good.
Yeah.
Versus dollar, it's okay, but versus Bitcoin, it's a good trading coin. Oh, you want to see the worst one? Guess what?
Litecoin, really?
It's been a mega downtrend. It's never gone up.
Can't buy a fucking uptrend. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
It comes out and then it's just been down for 7 years. I bring this up often when people want to go on about that. I'm like, this is why you got to look at a Bitcoin chart, because your Litecoin is cool. You're at $180 Litecoin. You bought it at $40, you know, if you bought the lows. Literally done absolutely nothing against Bitcoin, and even worse against Ethereum.
Jesus. Oh, dear Lord. Yeah, that's a painful one. That is painful.
Yeah. So really the lesson is, let's look at Bitcoin and Ethereum charts.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I'll probably have to employ that a little bit more, just get a better view of the market. I mean, you know, the market is generally bullish right now, so it does.
Exactly. If you're trading, it doesn't really matter so much. But if you want to be looking at stuff long term, then definitely check those other charts. And I guess the final one to look at, ETH BTC.
I love that chart.
Yeah. This is Ethereum going up against Bitcoin. That's crazy. You know, something that is actually going harder than Bitcoin. Because like we could see, most things are trending towards zero over time. Good to trade, but if we throw this in log, Boom.
Yeah, very good. Very, very
Yeah.
good.
That's our next level. We want to get past around that sort of 8.5%, 9% level.
Right. Yeah,
Man,
looking
it's been a pleasure. Unless you
Yeah,
want to chat
dude,
about
I,
anything
I
else.
realize it is your time's probably up here, but I think you got some company coming over soon enough. But hey, man, it's
That's
been an
true. I got to go
absolute
cook some
pleasure.
dinner.
Oh, right
Thank you,
on.
man.
Nice little dinner. All
Yeah.
right. Well, you know what, man? I'll let you get to it, but please tell people where they can find you, all of your socials, all the good stuff. Of course, they're going to be linked
Yeah.
in the description below as well. But
For sure. YouTube, you can find that all down below. Twitter, Instagram, and yeah, pretty much YouTube daily.
yeah,
Yeah.
YouTube videos daily. You heard it here first, or maybe second. But
Yeah.
it's been an absolute pleasure, my friends, and I'm sure we'll do another one of these at some point as well. With that said,
Yeah, likewise. I've loved it. If people want to
yeah,
know anything else, there's something else that tickled their fancy, we can go into more detail in a future video.
yeah, absolutely,
I love hanging
absolutely.
out on the Krown's crypto cave.
Well, we love having you here too, man. Dude, it was an absolute pleasure, my friend. Salute everyone of the audience, and hopefully see you very, very soon. Take care.
Cheers.